Hello, this is Cody with Liquid Laboratory Studio. Today we're going to do the 1-year review on the DJI Mavic Pro drone. We got her here. So we've been flying this thing for a year, and we're going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly. We're not sponsored or endorsed by DJI. We don't get free products from them. So we're going to tell you the truth. Nothing to hold back. So first of all, yes, it is a small drone. As you probably already know, it compacts into a small little case. Little case right here. It compacts into a small little case. It'll fold down on all sides. But we're not here to talk about how it folds. We're here to talk about the quality or lack thereof of the product. If you're going to spend this amount of money on a drone, I want you to kind of know what you're getting to. It's a neat concept. I mean, a foldable drone that you could take with you with a semi-pro camera. A lot of users and people have been noticing that there is a huge exposure difference. The codec is overcompressing. It's because it's a smaller camera, smaller drone, and you're just really not getting that quality you would get from a professional model like DJI Phantom 4 Pro, which we also have. And there's filters you could put on because there's other issues. There's exposure issues with the lenses. They're either not letting too much light in or sometimes too much with the shutter speed. So you can actually put an ND filter on to make that happen. Okay, flight time. They claim it's 27 minutes. You're lucky to get about probably 22 minutes. You go any further than that, you risk it auto landing and crashing, which we've had done. So there's another model, which it's basically the same body and everything, different motors. So they increase efficiency, so it gets an extra 2 minutes of flight time. It's the Platinum version. To be honest, I wasn't too impressed with the Mavic. I was one of the first to get it, Generation 1 owner, and I really expected a lot more. This is my first semi-pro drone. I immediately went out and bought the Phantom 4 Pro. But with this guy, you can pack it down into a backpack and take it with you, but it's actually very fragile. A lot of these parts just on their own just start cracking off and breaking. So let's go for the fun. Let's talk about the fun. The fun is, if you like repairing things, you will have a lot of fun repairing things. Let's talk about the components here. The plastic it's made out of is actually so brittle you can break it with your fingernail. Mine took a small hit, and there's actually a weak point here. It's the shock plate. And as you can tell, pieces of it, when I was working on it, trying to copy it, a piece fell off. And this tiny little part here is supposed to hold the whole gimbal and camera to some rubber bands. I think it's a horrible concept. The engineers kind of really messed up on this one. So what happens, it takes a tiny hit. In my instance, it did it on its own during an update, shot into a wall, fell a few feet, and snapped the camera. Well, the worst part was the dreaded gimbal overloaded error. That everyone gets it. It's a really nasty error. There's people that are getting it with the app or just faulty components. This ribbon cable that actually goes around the camera, mine's severed, but people are having these just break from usage. So I also have the first video on how to repair the gimbal flat ribbon PCB cable. So we also have that available right up here. And there's some aftermarket, some of these I highly recommend, or at least after a crash, to replace it. And let's go over these. So you have these blades. Something interesting about these blades is the circle ones are the ones that always break. So they should really sell just bags of the circle ones, and you probably have plenty of the non-circle ones laying around. So we get lots of little extra components. And another fun thing is the plastic it's made out of, they say it's a composite. When I talk to DJI, you can scratch it with your fingernail. I get it's lightweight. At the same time, I mean, you probably don't want something that's just going to fall apart. It's been through a couple crashes. One was during an update. It shot towards the wall. Some other minor ones were trying to use the active track feature, and it slingshot around into trees. Even though I was in mostly an open field, it happened to find the only trees on the perimeter. So another thing is this particular drone, it has 2 sets of vision position sensors. There's 2 up here, they're cameras, and there's 2 down here, along with sonar. So they're supposed to help it from crashing, and when going forward it can. But I've had instances where obviously the side that's not protected, the sides, rear, and upper, can actually get you into trouble. I had it auto land into a tree area, and it basically had nowhere to go. So yes, those are a neat system. Same time, they're actually light sensitive. You probably shouldn't be flying your drone at dark. They tell you not to. And these are actual cameras, so cameras actually need light to be able to react and adjust to objects in 3D. So, to be honest, the Platinum wasn't too impressive. The Mavic Pro wasn't too impressive. Great concept. That's why I jumped on the bandwagon. I was one of the first to get it. To be honest, maybe Gen 2 will be better, but there's a lot of quality concerns, and I'm wondering if they're built into the product or if the engineers need to watch this video so they can get some good ideas on how to fix it. I've also called them and gave them a few ideas, and we've talked about the DJI Go 4 app, and it's had some issues. In particular, some of the first people to have these drones got sideswiped. Your question is probably, should you buy it? Well, if you have discretionary income and you like the concepts of it, you know what you're getting to, a little joystick controller. If you know what you're getting up front, and I also have some videos on how not to crash it because it crashed. So if you know what you're getting and you know what to expect, then it's not a bad drone. It is a expensive drone. I just would expect more or hope for more. Maybe, like I said, Model 2, maybe Model even 3 is what I should have waited for. So that's it. I mean, it is neat. You can take it with you. You can travel. It's compact. It's got some neat features. It's got sonar, and it auto lands. It'll self land. It has two systems of GPS, glosses, and GPS, 2 compasses. So it's a good drone that'll actually return back to you and has 4K capability. At the same time, there's just a lot of concerns. I mean, you'll go through a lot of blades, or just keep it away from anything. But the truth is, like, what's the point of a vision system if you can't go anywhere near anything because it's going to break? These break with just about anything. One of the drawbacks is this is only a 2.4 gigahertz drone, which means it can get a lot of interference from people's Wi-Fi. Standard Wi-Fi, sits around that range. They also have other drones that the controller can actually go with a 5.8 gigahertz range. So that's another difference in these two. I've actually had a minor crash. I had to catch it. Someone ran a Wi-Fi repeater on an antenna, and it basically overloaded every single signal and started sending it as send and desend codes, and it overrode the shutoff codes. So the 2.4 gigahertz range is a flooded signal. I would highly recommend a drone that does not only have the 2.4. You want the 5.8 just to get options in case there's problems with the signal. So this is the 1-year review. I hope this helps you guys out in making your decision. And please show us some love, like and subscribe. Thank you.